off. Alright, turn my other heater off. I got this Bunsen burner thing. Like I said, there's no roof in my ceiling, or ceiling in my shop, so it's a little cold. It is like 3 degrees outside. We're in Helena, Montana, and it is freaking cold today. So I'm trying to keep it warm in here. The wood stove just isn't hacking it without insulation and a ceiling in here. So I got my other burner going along with my wood stove, trying to stay somewhat warm in here. I can handle it a little bit without gloves on, and then I gotta warm up next to the stove. But I did want to show you what I'm working on today. I forgot I had a bunch of metal roses to make. I don't know if anyone's seen this online. A lot of people make them. This is how I make them. I use barbed wire for the stem, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's barbed wire. I take 12 inches of it, fold it over, put this end in my drill chuck and this end in my vise, and twist them up to make the stems out of for the roses. And then I cut little petals and weld them on. But essentially this is how you do it. I made these, so I cut out a circle. This is 22 gauge steel. Try to flatten one of these out a little bit. So you cut out your circles. You need 2 circles per rose. So 1, 2 like that, we'll weld them on, and then you fold these into a rose. But the way you do it is you drill your hole, you stick your barbed wire through that center hole. That becomes your stem. My stand is broken currently, so it might be a little hard to set you up. Yep, there goes the other leg. Sorry. See if this thing will stay upright. Alright. Hopefully you can see the hole in the middle. Then you stick your barbed wire through here. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Let me try a different one. It's a little more foam. So you stick your barbed wire through there, then you'll just weld this right here. Then you'll take your second one. After you get that one welded on, you'll put it over the top of that. Not sure now it's gonna fight me. And you leave a little bit of a gap in between them. And then what I'll do is, as you can see, I've cut these 4 different sides, so each one of these is a petal. So I'll start folding. Once I get this welded to there, I'll fold it up, and then I'll start curling it. And I'll make the very middle one really tight, so it'll be really tight here. Then the next one will be looser, then it'll start forming a rose. As I start getting through this, I'll show you what I got going on. But like I said, that's your first shape. You make these little pinwheel looking things, and that becomes your outside petal. Then the second one becomes all your inside petals. And then what I do at the end, I use my little scabs and I weld little leaves on here. I kind of center punch them with a chisel, or put a mark in them with the chisel to make like a little leaf pattern in there, like it's got like a little vein in it. So I'll get that going and I'll show you guys that. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me over that heater. I wanted to show you, so these are my 2, I just kind of tack weld them on there. It's like, a lot like welding sheet metal, little spot weld, but I have 2 pieces on there. So they're, when I did it too, so each one of the cuts, so you can see the cut there is offset to the other piece. So hopefully I'm showing you that. There's a cut here and then a cut over here. So when you line up your 2, your cuts aren't in the same line. They're opposite of each other. They're about halfway between each petal. So then I'm just going to clamp this in my vise and I'll start folding these up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so I got this clamped in my vise. This is my tool of choice. It's just some 90-degree, like, cheapo needle nose pliers. It works really good to actually fold this up. So what I'll do is I'll take the first petal, if I can get in here. I'll start folding it up. Kind of got to get it past your cut mark. Like that. And what you do, fold that petal up, then you start making it round. That's why I like the 90-degree needle nose, because I can do this. And I don't worry about tool marks or nothing like that, because it's a metal flower. Like, it's, I kind of like the character that it gives it when I leave the tool marks in. It makes it just look more like a petal. There's a lot of people out there that know how to make these. I'm just showing you the way that I make them. A lot of people actually forge these on an anvil. Seems like a lot of work to me. These are probably one of the most time-consuming things that I build. Probably not the greatest angle for you. My stand just totally snapped off. I have like one of them GoPro flexible type ones, and it's like a cast aluminum bottom, and I popped the leg out of one of them, and then the other one started breaking. It just keeps getting worse, so I just ripped all the legs off. Like I said, this is a little time consuming, and I have 6 of these to do by a couple days. So I'll start showing you so you can see that's kind of starting to come around, and it's like the middle part of the rose, and as I fold each one of these up, it'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger. It'll start looking like a flower, and then at the end I come back and I fold these edges back to make it look like the rose is opening up. So when I get that far, I'll kind of show you guys. All right, so I kind of had to turn this thing. Let me see if I can get out of my shadow here. Whoa. So as you can see, I just started folding up each one of those petals, and as it folds up, it starts making this rose shape. Like I said, I wouldn't get too worried about, I don't at least, how even these are. If there's sharp edges, whatever, like to me, it gives it more character, makes it look more like a flower when you're done. And like I said, these are circles. I've also done them in triangles, squares, whatever shape I want, and it just makes it a different type of flower. These ones I call roses. I've done all sorts of different styles for my wife. The good thing about them is they last forever. These ones actually I'm doing for my buddy's wife. It's their 6th anniversary, so I got to do 6 of them. Normally I paint them red, and then the stems are green. He wants these unpainted, so that's kind of what we're going to go with. I'll finish getting this one folded up, then I'll kind of show you the end product. Alright, so there's kind of the finished product. Well, almost finished. So you got a barbed wire stem. It's just twisted up barbed wire. 12 inches long, 24 overall. And I just twist it together, put it in my drill chuck like you're twisting up wire, and twist it together. And then as you see, you fold them up, and then it becomes a rose. And then the last thing I do is I come on these edges and I fold them out the opposite way. So I'll get that done and kind of show you. Okay, so let me get this out of here. Gotta get in some light. So as you can see, I went and I folded this lip. So I took the top part of this and I just folded it back. Just kind of crimped it. It just gives the flowers some more 3D, and actually looks more like a petal. They're pretty cool. I'm alright, YouTube. So I got my 6 flowers made. He also said he wanted some kind of metal base, so I had this piece of exhaust tubing. I cut that, and I'm going to do, I don't know, some stuff around the outside of it here to make it look a little better. I'm going to do a bigger ring around the outside. Currently got that rolling on my metal roll over here. I've stuck it in there. It's just going in circles right now. I'm trying to determine how big of a thing I want, so I just kind of turn these down half turn at a time, and it makes it smaller. It's my big giant metal roll. I got this from a buddy at work. Him and his dad built it. He used to have his own kind of metal shop up in, I think, Forsyth, somewhere up in there. But I bought this bad boy from him. It's all 3-phase, so I'd buy a phase converter to convert it over from 3-phase to normal 220. So it's just rolling right now. I'm just trying to get a general shape. What I want to do, once I get this, you can see it's overlapping here. So what I'll do is I'll squeeze that and cut it where I want it to make a perfect circle or oval or whatever shape I want. So that's what I'm doing right now. Alright, I got this all done. It took me a little while to figure out how I was going to make this vase, what I wanted to make it look like, but so we turned out with.